GAC Sports Network welcomes you to the following presentation of the Great American Conference.
Men's and women's basketball teams from around Oklahoma and Arkansas have made their way to Shawnee, to the center of the Sooner State, for the Great American Conference Basketball Tournament 2024 edition. We are getting ready for 4 days and 14 games of basketball here from Fire Lake Arena, right in the southern portion of Shawnee, Oklahoma. Good afternoon, I'm Joey McWilliams along with Luke McConnell here as we are set for our first game of 4 today. A quarterfinal match between the number 2 seed and the number 7 seed. The second seeded Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys and the 7th seeded Harding Bisons. And Luke, as is being introduced right now, you see on your monitor the Great American Conference Player of the Year for 2024, Talon Peter.
Yeah, unanimous first team all-conference selection, as well a deserving player of the year. He does it all, Joey. 20 points a game, also second in the conference in steals. He's third in made three-pointers. He's third in free throw attempts. He does it inside and out. Talon Peter, a dynamic player, as well-rounded as you'll find in the Great American Conference.
Arkansas Tech, the Wonder Boys, shared a piece of the conference regular season championship this year, taking on the 7th-seeded Bisons from Harding, and we should see a good amount of Riley Marshall as well for the Bisons.
Yeah, Riley Marshall leading the team in scoring this year, just under 15 points per game, a second team all GAC selection this year. We heard from Weston Jamison this week, talking with him, the head coach of the Harding Bisons. He said he felt that Riley Marshall was a guy who really fit their system and has done a lot of work in the offseason to be the leader that he is today for the Bisons. He's a fantastic player, fantastic shooter, and he'll need a big day for the Bisons to spring the upset.
Bisons wearing the dark uniforms here. They're black and gold. Arkansas Tech in the gold uniforms with the green trim. And we're getting set again now for basketball here. Fire Lake Arena, the site of the Great American Conference Basketball Championship, now in its 3rd year here at Fire Lake Arena. A great place to watch basketball. And we are set to tip now game 1 of 14 underway. And the Wonder Boys will control first. We'll get the starting lineups to you now as Cade Schaefer looks inside. Turnaround jumper, Tommy Camerod not there, the rebound. And the Wonder Boys will keep it. Wonder Boys and starters look like this, wearing number 2. Is that player of the year. The pass inside from him, going outside around the arc, and Camerod for 3. Talon Peter, a 6'4 junior from Russellville, Arkansas. Arkansas Tech also has number 3, Cade Schaefer, a 6-foot guard from Russellville. Number 11, Cassius Brooks, a 6-foot junior from Chicago. Number 12, Josh Mitchell, a 6'8 junior from Tupelo, Mississippi. And Tommy Camerod, who made the 3 on one end. 6'8 junior from Buford, Georgia, as Harding tied it up with a 3-pointer on the other end. The Bisons starters look like this. Number 1 is Keelan McBride, a 5'1 sophomore from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Number 3 is Sam Henderson, 6'1 fifth-year player from Fort Worth, Texas. That one won't fall. The Bisons get the board. Number 10 is the aforementioned Riley Marshall, a sophomore, 6'1 from Beebe, Arkansas. J.T. Smith wearing number 12, a 6'3 fifth-year player from Kensett, Arkansas. And Sam Smith, number 24, 6'7 senior from Gurdon, Arkansas. Off the mark there, still at 3 apiece, and behind the back dribble off the long carom for Peter. And the Wonder Boys now look to try to regain the lead. Back-to-back threes, Luke.
Yeah, and Joey, the Bisons came out in a 2-3 zone in that first possession. They've gone man these last 2 possessions. We'll see if they mix it up throughout the afternoon. Camerod
bumped a little as he went to the basket, and he will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Riley Marshall getting matched up on the much taller Tommy Camerod, and Camerod doing what any big guy should do in that situation, take the smaller defender straight into the paint.
Big guys you mentioned, averaging 12.2 points per game, 4.8 rebounds per game as well, and leads the team, or second in the team in blocks, has 25 of those. Not bad when you are second in the team in blocks. If the team leader happens to also be the Defensive Player of the Year, Josh Mitchell, for Arkansas Tech, getting one of those superlatives. And a number of superlatives here on the court last night in Fire Lake Arena. We talked about the Player of the Year in Talon Peter.
This afternoon's contest.
Bison's around the horn. Quick three this time won't fall. 8-7 now as the Bisons have the 1-point advantage. Heading for that first immediate timeout here in just a moment. Nice look around. Looked like he'd go back outside, and Schaefer takes it back to the basket, and it's not there. Schaefer has 2 or 3 gears that are pretty quick. Slowed up for the basket and just couldn't get that one to fall.
Yeah, and again, Coach Jamison, he was a wonder boy that Coach Jamison just raved about in our pregame talk. Just loved the way he played.
Quick look around, Camarad, foul, count the basket, and Marshall will go to the line when we come back. Immediate timeout, our first, and the Bisons are on a run. 10-7 the score. Back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
Team's second in the first half, and we have a media.
At East Central University, we educate and empower students to transform the world. We provide an exceptional hands-on learning experience with professors who really go that extra mile. East Central University encourages students to become who they are meant to be while making lasting memories. East Central University, welcome home.
Brom Harris came off the bench for a 3. Sam Henderson has a 3, and the Bisons have a 3-point advantage. 10-7 the score now here in the first half. Our first game of 4 on the day from Shawnee Fire Lake Arena, as the second-seeded Wonder Boys are trailing for the first time today. Wonder Boys, as we mentioned, the regular season champions in the Great American Conference, coming in on a 7-game winning streak. We talked about a little momentum on the court. They brought momentum with them today, Luke.
Yeah, Arkansas Tech has been exceptionally consistent this year. 2 really long stretches. They dropped the first 2 games of the season at Emporia State against Fort Hays State, and then won the rest of the games until January, mid-January at Southern Nazarene. So the Wonder Boys have they've been really, really good all year long.
Pressure from the Bisons coming out of the break after the made free throw. 3-point play the conventional way, they used to say. Bison's employing a zone defense. It was there on the inside. As for Harding, Dylan Monroe has come in, coming out of the timeout. He was there. Solid defense for the Bisons, and they'll quickly take it the other direction. Delay in the air. Nice move on the inside, and it's a quick 2 points for Abu Jabane.
Yeah, Jabane transfer out of Robert Wesleyan. A great drive to the bucket there.
Camarad, who has all 7 of Tech's points, can't get that one to fall. 13-7, Bisons on a run. Arkansas Tech has not scored in 3 minutes. Meanwhile, Harding on a 10-0 run.
I was going to say, it looks like Cassius Brooks has a cut on his eyebrow. It's bleeding down the side of his face. So the official, Matthew King, stopping play so Cassius can get that taken care of. He's going to come out, and Braden Tanner checking in for the Wonder Boys. But it's been physical inside. Cassius Brooks has been right there in the paint on a couple offensive rebound opportunities.
Tanner from Bentonville, Arkansas, making his first appearance today. Up, and you will count that basket. How about that? Jermaine. And he skied through the air for that one. Off the glass, he'll get an opportunity for another and one. And the Bisons, the 7 seed, on a 12-0 run right now, and it may not be done.
Yeah, the Bison's on fire right now. This game is being dictated at their pace right now. Arkansas Tech, a really good offensive team, but they want to keep it a little bit on the slower end, and the Bisons are more than content with getting the pace up in this contest.
Bisons have seen some help coming off the bench as well. And look, that may be a little bit of an issue for Arkansas Tech. You know, the regular season champions, as we've seen from them, I'm not sure they go quite as deep on their bench as maybe a couple of the other higher seeded teams here in the tournament.
Yeah, right now you got Tanner and Sean Cobb in there, transfer out of Dalton State College. He's been very steady in the middle of that Arkansas Tech lineup, but you're right, not a huge deep team. You know, they're dealing with a lot of injuries. Sabian Sims out with injury. BJ Johnson, they lost in January to injury. So, you know, just a lot of tough blows for this Tech team, but they've been able to weather those injuries and still put up a fantastic season with the regular season championship.
Cobb drains both free throws. He's been on the court, well, throughout the season. Played in all 28 games, started 6 of them for the Wonder Boys this year, and is shooting as well as anyone from the field. 59% for the field for Cobb. Got his points from the charity stripe, though, and I think more importantly for Arkansas Tech, stopped the drought. So it is 16-9 right now, and a steal. Bison's tried to go the other way, and Schaefer puts a stop to that. He'll pick up the foul.
Yeah, and it's 2 turnovers now on the Wonder Boys, and Wonder Boys #1 in the conference, taking care of the basketball. Just over 11 per game this season.
The Wonder Boys #3, Cade Schaefer, that's his first.
So they're going to rule this an intentional foul, because I believe they're going to rule it this way because there was a Harding player ahead of the play when Schaefer grabbed Sam Henderson. They're going to review it just to make sure that that is the correct call. But the fast break attempt thwarted by Schaefer, just grabbing Henderson just inside midcourt. But I think it's the player ahead of the pack, Joey, that is what's warranting the intentional foul here.
And that's a valid call. And I also appreciate the fact that they're taking the moment to look at it. More and more a part of Division II basketball with the monitors, and especially, of course, here in conference tournament. Once you get to the postseason, that the monitors are there, they'll take that opportunity to look at that again.
Absolutely. Wonder Boys just 18% from the field thus far, Joey. One of their last 9. And Coach Jamison said, you know, we can put up some points. It's can we string together enough stops? The 2 games this year, Tech won absolutely handily. 91-58 and 89-66. They had no issues scoring on the Bisons in the 2 regular season contests. So they're actually going to overturn that and move it to a common foul.
And Coach Downey was displeased about the call, what it might have been. Nice job. Cooler heads prevail there. They look at the monitor and decide it is just the common foul there. You talk about 2 games that clearly were one-sided over the course of the season. This is one of those rivalry matchups too, and we have a number of them in the quarterfinals here in Shawnee. As that will go as Bison step on the out-of-bound line there. A rivalry match, you don't expect it to be lopsided twice like that over the course of the season.
Yeah, certainly not, especially with a team like the Bisons, who's been really good offensively today. As Camerad hits again inside. But the Bisons offensively have been great all year long. And so for them to just be smothered like they have, Wichita Tech is a really good defensive team, probably easily the most well-rounded team in the conference this year.
Well, the player of the year got a hand on that ball right there. One thing we haven't seen from Arkansas Tech here in this first half is scoring from their guards. Camerad has been all but 2 points, and Cobb the other 2 off the glass. Not sure he called it. He's going to be happy about that one anyway. J.T. Smith with the 3, and the Bisons continue to roll up 8 now.
Yeah, Smith not a 3-point shooter at all this season, but he got that one to go, and that's a big lift for the Bisons, giving them an 8-point lead.
Luke, we've talked about the play of Schaefer, and we've talked about Peter. Haven't really gotten into too much on Peter's year this year. Having the ball right now, the spin, that one will not go, and he can't tip the board. Wonder Boys need some help from their guards. Meanwhile, Smith takes it the other direction, and the Bisons will shut up shop again.
That was Peter's first shot of the game, nearly 8 minutes into the contest.
Peter on defense that time, gets in the way. He'll wind up with the ball as Schaefer gets it back into him. Solid defensive play by Peter there, really to just make sure that he was a warm body, a jersey, not giving a free path to the basket. Camerad has nowhere to go with it. You get up in the air, you have to come down. A 2-on-1 opportunity, and to the basket, off the glass, Jabane with 2 more points, and it is a double-digit lead for the Bisons, 7 seed, making a statement in the opening game.
Jabane with 7 here in the first half. He's only been in double figures twice in the last 8 games, but playing exceptional here in the first 9 minutes so far.
Corner, 3 ball won't go. Headed for immediate timeout here pretty quickly. Thought we might get one on what looked like a travel. And the Wonder Boys have another opportunity here. 3-pointer again attempted, and Camerad may have lost the feel from outside the arc.
Yeah, has 9 points thus far, but now 3 of 7 from the field, just 1 of 4 from deep.
We'll get wholesale substitutions in just a moment when the whistle finally blows, and we get it right there. Foul called. This one's going to go against Camerad. We'll talk about that when we come back. Lots of new faces will come onto the court after this media timeout. It is a 10-point advantage for the Bisons.
You to diligence and excellence in all that you do.
We're establishing this foundation where the students can then go and do the things that they want to do. Everything we do, everything we touch, everything that we try to teach our students revolves around Christ.
It's about cultivating passion and a desire to do something significant with your life. You found a vision for your life, and I think that's where students really lean into their inspired purpose.
Hey, Future Readies. Are you interested in careers that help your community? Henderson State University offers degrees in nursing, teaching, psychology, social work, and health and human performance. Visit hsu.edu/degrees to see the full list of degree opportunities. We are here to help you be ready for what's next. Contact us at admissions@hsu.edu or visit hsu.edu/readies to apply today or schedule a campus visit.
Wonder Boys fans looking for something to cheer about right now. Not a lot at this point. Coach Downey's team trailing by 10 as we are headed for the midpoint here in the first half. There is what Camerad felt like it would be a tie ball there. Expected to tie that one up on the inside with Monroe and didn't get the call. So the Bisons will inbound under their own basket. And you want to take down a higher seed in the first round. One of the things that you have to do is shoot the ball well. Hardy has done just that right now, shooting 50% from the field and 7 for 14.
Yeah, the big one for Camerad is that's his second personal foul. It's a big blow for the Wonder Boys here in the first half. Not only are you down 10, but you're now down the person who's got 9 of your 11 points through the first 9.5 minutes of the ball game. little full court pressure here for the Bisons. Again, they've done a nice job trying to speed the Wonder Boys up, but Cassius Brooks goes baseline there.
And you talk about speed, that's exactly what we saw. He kicked it up a gear on that baseline and took it right to the basket. For Brooks, his first 2 points of the afternoon. And an 8-point deficit at the midpoint here of the first half. Stop, quick jumper that time, up and in for J.T. Smith. And the 10-point advantage runs again. Harding comes in as the number 7 seed, and it's one of those things Coach Jamison said he's not just gratified about that. I mean, he's pleased. Of course, he mentioned that they're happy to be here playing at this point in time, but this was a Harding team that was picked to finish dead last in the conference in the preseason coaches poll.
Oh yeah, the job that Coach Jamison's done this year has just been outstanding. They weathered a 6-game losing streak over December, January after a hot start, and you kind of thought as Sam Smith gets in deep for his first bucket of the game, you thought, hey, maybe this is going to be the same Harding. They got off to a nice start, but maybe a little bit of a soft non-conference schedule is going to give them the, the nice record to look. And now that we're in conference play, we'll come back down to earth. But that wasn't the case at all. They rallied. They turned around, went 6-2 after that. They've lost 5 of their last 6 coming in, but GAC's a grind, and sometimes that's going to happen.
It has been this year, and I do want to talk over the course of this weekend about just what a grind this men's side of the basketball slate is. Schaefer, by the way, finding a way to find Mitchell, and Mitchell on the line. Schaefer, after a 3-pointer, he's found an extra gear now and is picking up the pace. You talked a little earlier about Harding dictating the pace right now. I think Tech is trying to find a way to get back in that, and you see it on the the Wonder Boys offensive end. The pace has quickened.
Yeah, and trying to extend some court pressure, assert their will defensively a little bit. But Isaac Ragland into the game now for the Wonder Boys, as Mark Downey's already gone 9 deep on his bench.
Wonder Boy in a man-to-man look there.
Joey, that was way off. That was left to the square.
Yes.
McBride.
Well, the other direction, an open opportunity for Brooks. And Brooks drains it from long range. Brooks now 2 for 6 on the afternoon. And Luke, we're going to have an opportunity to talk not only about the Great American Conference this weekend, but the individual games, but what things are going to look like as we possibly make it into the postseason a little bit deeper. NCAA Division II tournament is the goal for the teams here today, wanting to get an automatic bid or find a way to get in at large, but at the very least get the automatic bid that's on the line with the conference championship as an N1 opportunity for Smith, as he's really asserting himself on the inside.
Yeah, his second bucket inside, going to the line for a 3-point play, and that's number 2 on Josh Mitchell now.
Number 6 on the team.
Excuse me, they actually gave that to Cade Schaefer. And now I think we're going to need to get a check on who the foul was on, as official Todd Parker stopping play.
Well, it's either
going to be 2 on Schaefer or 2 on Mitchell. Either way, not an ideal situation for the Wonder Boys, who already have Camerad on the bench with 2 personal fouls.
As we do that here in just a moment, we're going to talk a little bit of tournament play, both here in the Great American Conference and beyond. We get a chance to visit with Philip Myers here as we talk some bracketology. As of course, that's a great word for March. Bracketology.
It is.
I'd love to say I coined that. I don't think I did.
Yeah,
but
sports has a way. We could probably go through and make a whole lexicon of terms that sports has invented in the English language, and bracketology probably up there at the top.
Now, and I say that in jest, but I remember, just throwing that word out as a teenager back in the 80s, looking at the brackets. I go back that far watching NCAA tournaments and seeing how the brackets would fall apart. But we are looking at that right now. Here in a moment, we'll get a chance to visit with Philip about just that. Really quickly, Luke, with an 8-point advantage for Harding right now, and they're checking to see who's who that foul is on, I believe. An 8-point advantage for Harding. If you look at this for Coach Jameson's squad, you have to feel pretty good about this, knowing what the results have been of the previous 2 games. You know, you lose by 30 and 20, up by 8 right now. Still plenty of time to be played, but a strong opening.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bison shooting 50% from the field. They're perfect 5 for 5 from the line, and they've held the Wonder Boys to just 6 of 18 from the field themselves. And of course, Joey, the Great American Conference part of the Central region, and we've got Philip Myers with us right now. And Philip, the Central region, historically, arguably the toughest region in all of Division II basketball.
Yeah, I mean, you have obviously Northwest Missouri State has won many championships in the last few years, and they're near the top again this year. Although it looks like Minnesota State is most likely going to be hosting the regional at this point. And
Northwest Missouri is, as you talk about, I mean, just has been dominant, not just from the Central region, but also from a national perspective.
Yep. Yep. What was it? 3 championships in 4 years. Oh, of course, COVID canceled one, but three consecutive championships until Southern Nazarene, of course, knocked them off last year in the second round.
Tech moving the ball around the outside now, trying to cut into that lead that Harding has. I mentioned the pace being increased just a little bit, and Luke, right now, Tech taking a little bit more time off that shot clock than they had. Schaefer for 3, counted, he comes back in, and he makes a difference just like that. It's a 5-point deficit for the 2nd seed right now. Arkansas Tech trailing by just 5.
Cade Schaefer, 39% from deep this season. He's a great distributor of the basketball, but 10 to 24 over his last 4 games from 3-point range. He can fill it up from deep if you leave him open.
Nice board on the inside. Mitchell kicks it back out, and here's Schaefer one more time. Going deep beyond the 8-minute mark right now on this stretch. And Peter, nice look inside to Mitchell. And this is going to stay with Arkansas Tech as we stay right here and talk a little bit more basketball with Philip Myers. And Philip, you know, as Arkansas Tech, well, I'm not going to call that the media break. It's going to stay here. Arkansas Tech trailing by 5. Philip, you mentioned just briefly, and we'll get with Philip in just a moment. Peter kicks outside again. He has not been active offensively.
Scoreless.
Yeah. Taken just 1 shot. I think that's probably as big a key as anything, the fact that he has taken just 1 shot.
Offensive foul called against the Wonder Boys, number 11, Cassius Brooks. That's his first.
You have to think that is not by design for Coach Downey.
Not at all. Great job by JT Smith stepping in and taking that charge. JT Smith, one of those guys who doesn't do a lot scoring and a lot of things that are going to show up in the stat sheet, but does a little bit of everything for this Bison squad, including making plays like that.
Tech coming out a little more aggressive now on that man-to-man look. Switch at the top. And outside the arc, that one will not fall.
G-Bain again inside, making things happen. He's already got 7 points. That's a 2nd board. Just 6 minutes of action, and with that being the 8th team foul in the Wonder Boys, G-Bain at the line for a 1-and-1.
How about G-Bain coming off the bench and making something happen like that?
He had 22 last Saturday at Henderson State, 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Pete coming on with big performances at the right moment. And there's Smith again.
It's another big performance. Outside the arc, don't count that. Inside, G-Bain can't get a handle on it. That was tipped around, and the Wonder Boys will take it the other direction.
Bisons have been crashing the offensive glass really hard in this one. Just 8.5 per game puts them 8th in the conference, but they're doing a great job inside today as Peter finally gets on the board.
Peter.
Well, a nice look on the outside, and he made something happen. Saw just a little bit of an opening there on that left side and took it right up off the glass. Peter with his first two. In position down low, and how about that? Another great play. I have to give him credit on that. Sam Smith going up strong on the inside, but Peter has been in the lane today just to disrupt things a little bit. Outside the arc, three-pointer will not fall for Ragland. And we'll have substitutions now with this whistle.
Camerad coming back in with 2 personal fouls. And just to recap, a few moments ago when they reviewed that foul, they did leave that second foul on Cade Schaefer, so that's why he's on the bench right now.
Monroe and Marshall back in for the Bisons. Opening left elbow. That's a really sweet 15-foot shot. Tanner for 2.
Tanner, the freshman out of Dardanelle, Arkansas, which is right there outside of Russellville. You might even call it a suburb of Russellville. And of course, Will Pruitt, GAC commissioner, lives there in Dardanelle. And Joey, do you know what the mascot is for the Dardanelle?
I do indeed. I mean, there are some great mascots in the state of Arkansas with high school teams, but the Sand Lizards has to be right up there near the top.
Sand Lizards is an exceptionally unique nickname. Always enjoy a good high school mascot that's just out there. My favorite here in Oklahoma is probably the Atoka Wampus Cats.
Right down there near my territory in the southeastern portion of the state there. Marshall with 2 free throws. He's 2 for 2 on the line. And the Bisons back up by 3. And that deficit has just been erased, just like that. Cassius Brooks drains a 3, 30 all, and the Wonder Boys are back tied with Harding for the first time since it was 7-7.
Well, and you hate that if you're Harding. You have the Wonder Boys on the ropes. You've got some foul trouble for Arkansas Tech. You're up 21-11, and just like that, Wonder Boys come all the way back. Courtesy of 5 3-pointers, and Harding's going to take a timeout to talk about it. And we'll take it to a media timeout as well.
Back in a moment here on the GAC Sports Network.
SWASU has been saying that the focus is you for 20 years. Now that I'm here, I know my voice matters.
It's a true home away from home where the professors really do put the focus on me and my dreams.
At SWASU, it feels like they are cheering me on with so many ways to get involved, like social clubs,
sports, quality academics, and great people who care about your success. For real, the focus is on you.
Open the door to your future at SWASU. Go, go! Yeah!
Your moment.
.30-30 the score. 40-40 is the number I was looking at just a moment ago in the break, Luke. That's the shooting percentage. Both teams now equal at that mark. Each team 10 of 25 from the field, shooting 40%. On the whole, not a bad number, but it's been a bit of runs. As Harding got off, they were shooting the ball very well, have dropped off that mark a little bit, and the Wonder Boys have finally found the basket, including the Great American Conference Player of the Year in Talon Peter, who has his first 2 points of the game in that last stretch.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very original to say this has been an even game with the score tied thus far, but yeah, we got here with 2 big runs. Harding jumped out early, and now the Wonder Boys are in the midst of a big run themselves, finally having kind of righted the ship after that first Harding punch.
Quickly before the shot clock buzzer sounds, the 3 gets away, in it, and count it. Riley Marshall, as the Bisons are back up by 3.
That's 2 3-pointers for the Bisons right at the shot clock buzzer.
I saw the number go to 0 before the horn sounded. and knew it had left Marshall's hands in plenty of time. That's a highlight three-pointer right there.
Absolutely. Another turnover for the Wonder Boy. That's 5 now here in the first half. Doesn't sound like a big number. That you're only averaging just a tick over 9 per game over their last 8 and 11 per game this season.
More pressure outside the arc. An opening in the left corner. Count another 3 for the Bisons. 1, 2, 3. And Henderson has the lead. Back up to 6.
Not a surprise here. 5 threes each way. These teams are 2 and 3. Tech and Harding, respectively, in 3-point makes this year. The Wonder Boys 1st and 7th nationally, 40%. Harding no slouch at 37% this year.
Ragland keeps a foot on the court. Three-pointer taken, nowhere close to the basket. They're going to call the shot clock violation. This will allow the Bisons to reset now. Actually, it's going to help, I think, Arkansas Tech as much as anything, because they will reset on defense and be able to get Schaefer back in the game.
And Kate Schaefer.
Yeah, so I think that Todd Parker, the officials over the scores table, so I think this has happened a couple times. Like you said, the clock is going to 0 before the buzzer sounds, and I think what's happening when you have the tenths, even with a 30-second shot clock, you have those tenths that are still running somewhere in the mechanism, and I think what's happening is it's going to 0, but it's still rolling off the tenths, and then the tenths, once those expires, what is triggering the horn. So the officials blew that before the horn sounded there. So I think that's what the scorekeeper was telling down low, is Schaefer with the block on that bigger Monroe.
That was big time. How about that? Coming in on Monroe. Monroe listed at 6'8", Schaefer at not 6'8". Nice block. Brooks in. Count the basket. He'll go to the line and one opportunity. And the Wonder Boys are making the most now, trying to get back into at least keeping it close before the half.
Brooks has been the reason the Wonder Boys are back in this game. He's got 10 going to the line for 11, 2 made threes. He's transferred out of Kirkwood College, and honorable mention all GAC this year, but he has been the spark plug that has gotten this team going. Talon Peters still just 2 field goal attempts, 2 points in the first half, but it's been Cassius Brooks who has gotten the Wonder Boys back into this game.
Hey, you look at that thing, 50%. That's not a bad shooting percentage for Peter, but you have to consider he's taken only those 2 shots. Let's see what kind of adjustments they're going to make at the half here. Peter just wanting to make the most of it right now. His team trailing by just 3.
It's big for Brooks. Brooks came in averaging 9 points per game over the last 6, so sitting on 11 right now.
First player scoring in double figures on the afternoon for either team. Bain kicks it outside, and that was disrupted. I think Brooks got a hand on that one. He waits in the corner on the other end. Nobody looking at him. And the way Brooks has played so far, he's open to take a 3, but wouldn't be surprised at all to see him make a quick move to the basket. Schaefer's. The clock nears 10 now, the shot clock. There's Brooks making that move, and he'll draw the foul.
I think they're going to get Sam Smith battling with Sean Cobb just outside the paint here on this personal foul. That's the first on Sam Smith. And Joey, I don't know if you noticed, but in that possession, Talon Peter went to the far corner there in front of the Harding bench and didn't move the whole possession. Just very content to kind of be a decoy of sorts here in this first half.
Well, if they do make any adjustments at the break, we know what he's been doing so far. And, you know, you pointed out, there he is again. They're really not looking his direction.
No, they're running a lot here on the near side of the court.
Schaefer's fall away from 3 won't fall. It's still a 3-point deficit for the Wonder Boys. And Harding, not a big hurry now as the first half is winding down. Nice look inside. Blocked and blocked again. Two Wonder Boys got a hand on that one just to make sure it didn't go anywhere near the basket. Camarade, spin move, looked down low, and somehow it finds its way back into his hands. Peter, that one is well off the mark. He does not have a rhythm here in the first half. And the foul call, it's going to stay with the Wonder Boys.
Well, Weston Jameson's upset over on the far side because Camarade tried to dump it over to Sean Cobb underneath, but Riley Marshall was right in front of Cobb and disrupted the pass. And, you know, Cobb was all over his back. Obviously, it's a little bit hard not for him not to be at 6'7", and Marshall, or excuse me, McBride, just 5'11".
Camarade can't get the jumper to go the other direction quickly down the court, and Tanner knocks that one out. They say it was last touched and off the leg of McBride.
Braden Tanner's given the Wonder Boys some big minutes here. Just, you know, 2 points, but he's made a couple plays just like that, played solid defense. Some really good stuff there from the freshman.
3-point game. Tech with at least one more opportunity here. Content to run some time off, looking down low. Cobb double teamed. And Camarade again. Mid-range jumper won't go. Bisons and Marshall is saying slow it down. Screen off the top. McBride look to the corner for three. That one won't go. Turnaround, put back off the rim. But the Bisons will take a 3-point advantage into the intermission. And this number 7 seed making a statement as we've gone to the second season. 36-33, Harding on top in this quarterfinal game. Back in a moment on the GAC Sports Network.
Hey, Future Readies. Are you interested in careers that help your community? Henderson State University offers degrees in nursing, teaching, psychology, social work, and health and human performance. Visit hsu.edu/degrees to see the full list of degree opportunities. We are here to help you be ready for what's next. Contact us at admissions@hsu.edu or visit hsu.edu/readies to apply today or schedule a campus visit.
Hey, Future Readies. Are you interested in a career in technology? Henderson State University offers degrees in aviation, computer science, and engineering. Visit hsu.edu/degrees to see the full list of degree opportunities. We are here to help you be ready for what's next. Contact us at admissions@hsu.edu or visit hsu.edu/readies to apply today or schedule a campus visit.
Who do we look to shape our world? It'll be people who know how to think with their heads and their hearts. People who understand that faith is not the enemy of education, but its partner. More than book smart, more than business smart. They are wise in their whole being.
We are future shapers.
Learn to live well and lead well in God's world. Be a future shaper at OBU.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what is character, culture, and Christ? Last but certainly not least, in fact, I would put it first, and that is serving Christ. I like the fact that it's last because it does undergird everything that we do. Our responsibility, I believe, more than anything else, is to serve our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
SWASU has been saying that the focus is you for 20 years. Now that I'm here, I know my voice matters.
It's a true home away from home where the professors really do put the focus on me and my dreams.
At SWASU, it feels like they are cheering me on with so many ways to get involved, like social clubs,
sports, quality academics, and great people who care about your success. For real, the focus is on you.
Open the door to your future at SWASU. Go Dogs!
If you're not at home, where else would you be? Not the kind of home you're familiar with, but the kind that helps you become them. Or them. The kind where you become a part of a community that builds you up. A community that doesn't just give you the answers, but helps you discover them for yourself. Home is where the mule riders are. When you're a mule rider, you're not walking down a predetermined trail. You're blazing your own. The world is full of unsettled questions with so much to explore. Enter it with full reins of knowing who you are, where you come from, and what ignites your flame. Here at home, you have no limits. Reach for the stars and don't stop there. As a mule rider, you decide what's possible. Stop imagining what you could do and do it here. Think bigger. Think faster. Let's ride. Don't worry, you're not far from home. Because home is where the mule riders are.
Your moment.
So how do you make it? How do you overcome the odds? There's Natasha's way. Be shy, focus on yourself, until they focus on you. Or Juana's way.
Why be one champ when I want to be two?
Be like Yusra. Let nothing
Syrian refugee pulls boat to safety.
destroy your dreams.
Screw fate.
Or maybe you beat doubt one step at a time, like Johnny. What about Zoe? Never satisfied. Not with trophies or stunts. Then there's Dennis. Work with what you got to get what you don't. Or you could be like me. Dream of pro football, get hurt, dream over. Find yourself with just $7 in your pocket. So how did I get here? By being the hardest worker in the room. How are you gonna get here?
Who do we look to shape our world? It'll be people who know how to think with their heads and their hearts. People who contribute with compassion, courage, confidence. People who understand that faith is not the enemy of education, but its partner. Tomorrow's difference makers and world changers will understand they're part of something bigger, an unstoppable force for good. More than book smart, more than business smart. They are wise in their whole being. These are the people who will shape our future, and you'll find them at OBU today.
I am a future shaper.
I'm a future shaper.
We are future shapers. Learn to live well and lead well in God's world. Be a future shaper at OBU.
professors care and they go out of their way to make sure that you are going to succeed.
Hi, I'm Rolante. I'm a sophomore at Southeastern, and we help make this video.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days, I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what is character, culture, and Christ? Creating culture. Certainly when we graduate students, they go out and they create culture in classrooms, they create culture in churches, they create culture anywhere they go.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself, the rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Hey, what you doing this for? Just out here for recreational purposes? Working, man.
Mission today is work hard until you can't go no more. It's always a team mission. Can't get nowhere without the team. It takes everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, you better be open. You better be open. Man, listen, listen. There's only one attitude that you gotta bring. Let's go. That you need to bring.
Work. I mean, we come out here every day to get better. If it was easy, everybody do it, man.
We work out on the street. You feel me? We the best in the nation. We outwork y'all. We outwork anybody.
We
always grinding, always getting better. Every time I come through these lines, no matter where these lines at, work. Maximum effort.
Get 'em out of here. Let's go.
How to spot a boll weevil. Boll weevils are a fascinating species. They're known to travel in packs, are highly intelligent, and can thrive in any environment. Each and every boll weevil is unique, and they have unique opportunities. But they all share one common trait. Every boll weevil has a bright future awaiting wherever they go. And that's how you spot a boll weevil. Learn more at uamont.edu.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but we know there's growth in the journey. At ATU, we value this moment because here, nature becomes your classroom. So breathe it in. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success. Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment Because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
At East Central University, we educate and empower students to transform the world. We provide an exceptional hands-on learning experience with professors who really go that extra mile. East Central University encourages students to become who they are meant to be while making lasting memories. East Central University, welcome home.
Arkansas Tech found the basket early, then went on a stretch where it was few and far between. Meanwhile, Harding has come out as the 7th seed and made a statement here in the first half. Tech found their way back into it, but it is still a Bison lead of 3 at the break. Joey McWilliams along with Luke McConnell here. Game 1 of 4 on this opening day of the Great American Conference Tournament. And Luke, we look at Arkansas Tech led by Cassius Brooks, who really started to come alive in the latter part of the first half. He has 11 points for the Wonder Boys.
Yeah, Cassius Brooks, a fantastic guard for Arkansas Tech. And, you know, Joey, he was the reason why the Wonder Boys got back into this game. They were down 21-11, having some foul trouble as well. And Brooks took it over, knocked down a couple threes, got an and one opportunity as well, and you know, played some good defense on the other end to the point where he had some blood on his eyebrow at one point from a cut collision. So he's done it all for the Wonder Boys here in this first half, and really even first half across the board, Joey, but we just got there in an untraditional way with a big start by Harding and then Tech coming back late.
Both teams shooting a little less than 40% now. They were right at that mark near the end of the first half, each with 5 from outside the arc, shooting well from the free throw line. Free throws really haven't been anything to speak of at this point in time. A lot of and one opportunities specifically for Harding. And you look at Tech, you might expect Tech to lead in rebounds, and they are right now, 21-18, even after quite a slew of Harding offensive boards there in the first half. You got to credit the Bisons and what they did on the offensive glass.
Yeah, 6 offensive rebounds for Harding in the first half, turning those into 5 second chance points. But Tech, 8 second chance points off 7 offensive rebounds. Wonder Boys 3rd in the league in offensive rebounding this year. And you know, they were able to get back in the game again, in part because of that. They reasserted themselves a little bit on the backboards in the second half of the first half.
Bison's ball.
Bisons will bring out 4 of the 5, actually all 5 of their original starters. And I think the thing that stands out to me, one of the stats that was way down the list on the paper I was handed, bench points. Harding with 10 bench points, Arkansas Tech with just 4, and it's not a stat that surprises me. I just think it's worth mention. Harding's going to use its bench a little bit more than what Arkansas Tech does by design tonight.
2-3 zone here for the Bisons. Yeah, part of that is going to be JT Smith getting the start today instead of Bram Harris. Also, Abu Gbane with a strong first half, 7 points off the bench for the Bisons.
Shot clock winding down as Schaefer steps back. Fall away again. Didn't fall for him often on the step back fall away from long range in the first half, and you don't see it fall there either.
The Tech ball here is, I believe, Smith got a hand on the rebound, knocked it into the stanchion behind the backboard out of bounds. So Tech basketball and a fresh 20 on the shot clock.
Schaefer with just 6 points in the first half. Has led the team well, though. Distributed the ball well. Camarade nowhere to go. Schaefer with an opportunity. And once again, gives off and finds Mitchell down low. Mitchell in stride, makes his way to the basket. It is a 1-point game.
Yeah, nice job by Mitchell, just hanging out there on the baseline. Easy dump off there for Schaefer and an easy layup for Mitchell.
Defensive Player of the Year, has 4 boards. That's his first field goal of the day. He now has 3 points. Camarad coming out long on the man-to-man look. That one won't fall off the glass. Talked about that just a little bit earlier. Sam Smith not shooting often from behind the arc. Another direction, nice offensive glass for the Wonder Boys. Camarad can't get that one to fall, and here come the Bisons the other direction.
Yeah, a little quick on that from Camarad. And he just picked up his 3rd personal foul as he sent Sam Henderson to the deck. And looks like Henderson banged that right elbow going down. But that's number 3 on Tommy Camarad. And you know that shot, you know, they always say quick trigger on a 3 off an offensive rebound. I felt like that was a little quick in the possession for Camarad there.
And you watch that, really, I think Camarad bailed, did a good job of bailing out Henderson, because Henderson stepping through the lane, it was going to be an awkward look anyway around. I don't think his momentum was taking him too far away from the glass for it to be a good shot, and really no one to throw it to, so it was very much fortuitous, although you can see he's still feeling that in his right elbow.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, it's never pleasant going down hard like that, especially on your shooting elbow.
Makes the second.
It's 9 points for Henderson now. He's been at average 12.5 over his last 5 coming into this afternoon. Clock didn't start there.
Just enough to get 1 second off. They'll wind a couple
everybody's
more
working
off
out
of that.
everybody's working out the first game kinks here.
That's just part of it. It's a well-oiled machine by Sunday. But that's a good part of it. Hey, we have 3 more games, by the way, here today, so keep it right here on the GAC Sports Network. Another number 7, number 2 matchup in women's basketball coming up after this as Mitchell goes up strong, draws the foul, count that basket, and we've seen a number of and-one opportunities today. We'll see another one.
Sam Smith, his second, team's first of the second half. At the line shooting 1, number 12.
That's 2 on Smith. Monroe back in, and Mitchell again just kind of hanging out inside, hanging out just outside the paint. Good find there by Talon Peter, who, you know, he's just out there right now doing whatever his team needs him. And you love that as a coach from Talon Peter, not trying to just demand the ball and like, hey, I'm a 20-point scorer, I'm the player of the year, let me get mine. He's doing exactly what the game plan is for the Wonder Boys.
Yeah, and you know what? As that one finds its way in, that's a pretty 3, a very pretty 3 by Marshall. You look at that, though, we can see what's going on in the court. I mean, if you just look at the stats, and if you were watching this and just pulling up the stats from long distance and think about Peter, it reminds me a quote from Monty Python, "Sir not appearing in this film." And he hasn't been that much statistically, but they've had to be aware of his presence.
That's a tough offensive rebound by Monroe. Camarad had a good box out on Monroe, but nobody for Arkansas Tech went to get the ball.
Mitchell, Defensive Player of the Year, relocates that shot, but right back into the hands of Smith, and Smith puts 2 on the board.
JT Smith now at 7 in the ball game. The Bisons have needed every one of them.
It's a quote that's said many times. I've heard it said, I've seen it lived out. As a coach and a player, I've seen both sides of it. It is tough to beat the same team 3 times in 1 year, especially with the dominance that Tech's had already in the first 2 wins for the Wonder Boys this year. And it's a rivalry matchup on top of that. Harding is making it difficult on Tech right now. Smith quickly the other direction. He'll slow up.
Oh, what a great find
inside,
inside.
that's right.
That's a travel.
And you get up in the air and physics takes over. If you have nowhere to go with it, you have to come back down.
Bummer, it was a great pass too. Just take the shot, Dylan. Try to get fouled.
Nowhere to go. Tech will get it when we come back. Tech talking things over just a little bit as they catch a break, and they'll get the ball back. Stop some Bison's momentum off that travel, so we'll see what happens here. Talon Peter, 1 for 3 on the day, has 4 rebounds and an assist and a block. And I would go so far as to say a couple more things that aren't in the statistical category, at least not on my paper. He's been a disruption on defense as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the best defenders in the conference. 54 steals. He's a long guy, 6'4". You think, when you see guard and a high scorer, you're like, okay, a little bit of a smaller guy. But no, I mean, he's every bit of 6'4". He's a long, lanky guy, strong. He's a force on defense as well. He takes it to the basket. That's a first strong take we've seen today. He's got that tape on his right wrist as well. Went down hard against Southern Arkansas. So not 100%. We're going to see throughout the day today, though, Joey. A lot of teams coming into this tournament not 100%. Especially on the guys' side.
And you think about that. Of course, it gets into conference tournament time too, Luke, with a player like Peter. We know his resume, and which is added to that from last night. The fact that he's the Great American Conference Player of the Year for 23-24. But you almost have to have an X factor. Somebody that comes off the bench or steps up, because players like Peter, they're the #1 on that scout list. You have to defend him, make somebody else beat you, and Harding is trying to do that right now, and Bean has nowhere to go.
It's a fortunate call. I think G-Bain might have gotten away with a travel there.
That looked like an NBA play, and they get away with the travels on that level. You're right. Got away with that one. He'll go to the line. 7 points on the day, 1 for 2 from the free throw line today. And talk about all those fifth-year players for Harding. When it gets into postseason time, Luke, you wonder at this point, how big is that? It's big from the maturity standpoint, but it's been a while since the Bisons have been here.
Yeah, there's not a guy on this roster who has been in the Great American Conference tournament before. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a different situation as far as, hey, you've got the experience, but you don't have postseason experience.
And this is the first Shawnee, at least Fire Lake Arena Shawnee experience for Harding, because the last time that they went to a postseason other than that 2020 stretch that you mentioned a little bit earlier, the tournament was held in Bartlesville. So first trip for the Bisons, and there's that travel that the opportunity to make that call a little while ago was missed.
Yeah, Berm Harris just a little shuffling of the puppies before he put the ball on the floor there.
Women's team's been here, though. We'll see Harding's women a little bit later on.
Our next game.
Saw Coach Tim Kirby walking in the building just a moment ago.
Our Harding friends to our left, Billy Morgan, Scott Good. Don't you have to move positions there? They just get the cush to come in, play, do 2 games, and leave for the day. And then see you on Saturday.
Radio broadcast, and we're surrounded by some greats here, I have to tell you.
Oh, Sam and Billy on either side of us. Sam Strasner for Arkansas Tech. One of the best. Oh, we got a wedgie here, Joey.
Cameron's there quickly to remove that.
But Sam and Billy, they're great friends, great guys, two of the best in the league. At both of what they do and just as individuals as well. It's great they've got a little tradition going with when they go to Oklahoma. They try to leave each other a snack at the broadcast position at their previous stop.
And Camerad, he had Coach Downey in his ear. Three-pointer falls. That's as big a three-pointer as we've seen for Tech all afternoon. And he was still having a conversation with Coach Downey after the ball went through. Corner. That one will come up a little bit short, and we'll have a foul in the lane. And Schaefer, he's trying to find a position inside and just had too much momentum coming through.
Yeah, that's going to be 3 on Schaefer now. Schaefer trying to advocate that it was just a box out gone awry, but G-Bain forcing the issue there. Henderson back in for G-Bain.
Well, Schaefer not one of the bigger players on the court. When you try to get that position down low and get the block out, I mean, you need to come in with a little bit of force. He's had just a bit too much. Henderson once again. And Henderson on the afternoon, he's stepped it up now. He has double figures in scoring now with 11.
It's now 5 of the last 6 games for Henderson in double figures, who hadn't been a big scorer as Marshall the extra effort there. Brooks, nice tap to keep it in.
How about that? Schaefer steps back. This time steps into the shot. A different look that time for Schaefer. He's not afraid to step back for the jumper from long range. The last 2 times he's fallen away a little bit. That time plants the back foot and then steps up into the shot. Perfect look.
That was on the Wonder Boys, number 12, J.T. Smith.
Yeah, Schaefer now 3 for 5, and that's now 3, or excuse me, that is just number 2 on Josh Mitchell. But Dylan Monroe wide open underneath. A little bit of a breakdown on the help side for Tech.
And
Monroe looking a little bit more confident that shot than the three-pointer in the corner. Mitchell going up strong and picks up the foul right then. I think at some point in the game with Mitchell, that's just his second personal foul. I think that he would have the green light to go up strong again with his defensive prowess.
Yeah, no doubt about it there. Got a lot of ball just on the recovery, but a little bit too much body is what drew the whistle. Tech can take the lead here on this possession, Joey. They've had just a 1-point lead early in the second half, but haven't been able to didn't maintain that, and now find themselves back behind.
There's Peter for 3. That one a little short. Save, and it will stay on the Tech end. Heads up play by Schaefer, and not the pass he wanted. Cameron just could not get the handle on it either.
8 turnovers now for the Wonder Boys.
Sam Smith returns. Replacing Dylan
Henderson's turned those into 7 points thus far. See if they can add to it on this possession. But the Bisons, for the most part, just have not allowed Tech to really get on the run, to kind of seize control.
Long range jumper from the left side. A little bit too strong for Marshall, and Schaefer with the board. Schaefer's been able to get inside and bring down those baskets. All of his rebounds coming on the defensive end. He has 7 of them. And we go to our next media timeout. Tight contest here between the 7th and the 2nd seeds. And it's the Bisons with a 1-point advantage over the Wonder Boys.
Education pushes you to diligence and excellence in all that you do.
We're establishing this foundation where the students can then go and do the things that they want to do.
Everything we do, everything we touch, everything that we try to teach our students revolves around Christ.
It's about cultivating passion and a desire to do something significant with your life. You found a vision for your life, and I think that's where students really lean into their inspired purpose.
Hey Future Readies, are you interested in a career in business? Henderson State University offers bachelor's and master's degrees in business administration and certificates in analytics, marketing and communications, and nonprofit management. Visit hsu.edu/degrees to see the full list of degree opportunities. We are here to help you be ready for what's next. Contact us at admissions@hsu.edu or visit hsu.edu/readies to apply today or schedule a campus visit.
Look, we get to the point in the contest now, and really the season, as we'll mention in just a moment, for both these teams, where players who need to rise and step to the next level, this is when that needs to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Arkansas Tech, Taylon Peter, regardless of how he's ailing, he's the conference player of the year. He's got to step up and make something happen, even if it's just the threat of him doing something.
Schaefer, 2 opportunities from outside the arc. Neither will fall. Bison's with the 1-point lead in the ball. Looking inside, nice pass, finding a cutter on the backside. Harris into the contest, and they're picking up pieces of him, I think, right now. He hit the court pretty strong. He'll go to the line to shoot, too.
Man, let's look at this replay, because oh yeah, he got him with the hip first. Let's say the body's kind of clouded my view. I just saw up top, and it was a great block up top. But yeah, just good call there by Todd Parker, the official, seeing the contact with the hip first and not being persuaded by the emphatic rejection up top. It's a good call.
Cobb picking up just his first personal foul. Has a little bit of room to work with there. As both free throws fall, Bison's back up by 3. There's a little defensive help. Cobb left alone on the inside, and so when you come up and give the help, there's an open gold jersey. Cobb will go to the line to shoot, too. Definitely would like that one back. Coming through on the reverse, didn't get the good look on the shot. He'd like it to be an and one. Instead, he's going to have to make 2 from the line.
That's a great look by Schaefer, recognizing that. And like you said, Joey, whenever the double comes, somebody's open somewhere, and the key is trying to get it in a way that is advantageous for that particular guy. And that's a great leading pass, taking Cobb right underneath the rim. Just couldn't get it the reverse to go.
It really was. Cobb now 3 for 4 from the free throw line, makes 1 of 2 there. Cobb with 3 points on the day, and it's back to a 2-point game.
It's been about the defense here in the second half, Joey. Wonder Boys under 30%, the Bison's right at 30%.
Yeah, the shooting has dropped off a little bit, but I think you do have to give credit to the defense. And how about that one for Dylan Monroe? Outside the arc, it's in, and a 5-point advantage now.
Just his 10th made 3 of the season. Arkansas Tech, that's a shot you can live with.
Peter from long range, and that one won't fall, a little bit too strong. And he's gone back and forth. It's not really you know, shots that are coming up a little short or shots that are strong. He's been around the rim when he shot long range.
Entering the game, number 21, Trey Allen III.
Well, it's starting to come down to crunch time here for the Wonder Boys with 10:48 to go. I mean, talked a little bit to Philip Myers in the first half. I mean, the GAC is a 1-in, and Weston Jameson's going to take a timeout, but the GAC is a 1-bid league this year, Joey. There's no hope for the Wonder Boys to get in as an at-large team this year, just based on what they couldn't do in non-conference play, a couple tough losses along the way in GAC play, plus the strength of the other leagues. The Northern Sun Conference, very strong this year. You know, without the automatic bid for the GAC, you could easily look at getting, you know, 6 teams from the Northern Sun in this year, but obviously one team from the GAC has to get in.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, and you have 2 teams that are share the regular season title in Southeastern and Arkansas Tech, and both 18-4 in Great American Conference play. Of course, Tech, the 2 seed, Southeastern, the 1 seed. We'll see them at 5:45 this afternoon. They'll be taking on Southern Arkansas, the defending conference tournament champions from last year. But you look at that, and really there are no gimmies. You might think, well, if you're at the top of your league, surely you might be able to find a way in with that at-large bid. It didn't happen 2 years ago. Southeastern came in as the #1 seed in the tournament. Fantastic year, 18-4 record in conference, I might add, again, and lost in the opening round, and they did not make that Division II national tournament field.
Yep, one of the plagues of regionalization at the Division II level, and we could we could never talk about the game going on in front of us the rest of the afternoon and just spend the rest of the afternoon and evening ranting about the regionalization model. But it is what it is at this point. I mean, as much as you may not like it, you may not like the way the cards are dealt, but that's how it is right now, and that's just the reality we live with until things change.
Bison's is Harris, able to keep that pivot foot, gets the shot off, can't get it to fall. 5-point advantage now coming out of what became a media timeout on the timeout taken by the Bisons just a moment ago. Schaefer kicks back out. Tanner for 3. Big time needed down the court, and Marshall ahead of everybody sends it home.
Marshall just leaking out there after contesting the Tanner 3-point attempt. Easiest 2 of his season.
Really, and he wasn't snowbirding. He just had momentum coming in as he was stepping out on defense. Nice look anyway around. Bison's up by 7. Strong year for Harding sports all the way around. The women's basketball team, the #2 seed, we said we'd see them just a little bit later on. And of course the Harding football team, national champions in Division II. The Bisons made their way on through. Congratulations all the way around.
Harding baseball team spent time ranked this year. Softball team's been solid so far. Yeah, it's a good year in Searcy.
It is. Volleyball team is always strong. And well, you can't go, if you're going to talk about always strong programs, their cross country team is always strong as well. So it would be easy to talk about Harding for a while longer. Tech with the ball right now. Defense gets down, gets in place. Man look now for Harding. Mid-range jumper on the baseline won't go, and actually that was pretty impressive as Allen came through, nearly got his own board after the missed shot. It's going to stay on the Tech end of the court as Allen went to the free throw line. Looked like he might be setting up to shoot free throws.
Yeah, 5 fouls each way with 9:12 to go. Nothing too crazy in the foul count. These officials have done a great job thus far.
It's almost always a sign of a well-officiated game when you don't mention them that much. Tanner, that was needed for the Wonder Boys.
Yeah,
that's the deficit in half.
Huge 3 there from Braden Tanner, the freshman.
Well, you mentioned earlier, I mean, he's given some good time this afternoon.
Curious how long Cassius Brooks, and that's number 4 on Tommy Camerad. Trey Allen's trying to claim it, but he's not going to. The official's not going to be swayed there. And there's Cassius Brooks checking in for Talon Peter, but Camerad's got 4 now, and that's a big moment for the Wonder Boys. He scored 9 of their first 11, has just 3 points since. So Josh Mitchell back in, and Monroe coming in to be a big body there for Mitchell. But 3-point lead for Harding. The Wonder Boys again, just that one 38-37 lead 2 minutes into the second half.
Count that one for the Bisons once again. Brom Harris for 3, and it's back to a 6-point advantage.
Again, Weston Jamison said in our conversation earlier this week, got to string enough stops together. They're doing it right now. Oh.
Three-pointer for Tanner. Back-to-back trips, and Tanner's come away with gold. Back to a 3-point game. Tanner averaging a little better than 12 minutes per contest, and he's been out there for 16 so far, and we've got 8 left to play.
Fouls on
This is where this is really, for a player like Tanner too, and I'd have to go for Coach Downey. I mean, there's nothing that can replicate court time, and especially conference tournament court time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is as big an opportunity as Tanner's had in, his basketball career thus far, and he is stepping up to the moment, especially given the limitations that Taylon Peter has. Just 3 points on 1 of 5 shooting. The struggles that Tech has had shooting the basketball, just 35% for the game. For him to step up and put in 8 points thus far, enormous contributions for Tanner.
2 big free throws. Back to a 5-point game. Let's see if they ride Tanner's hot hand. He makes his way to the other side of the court now. Left side, not as kind. Don't blame him at all for going back his direction, though. Shabane, excuse me, loses control of the ball. Timeout on the court. And we'll take it as the media as well. 5-point game right now. Bison's in a good position in this GAC quarterfinal.
Hey, Future Readies. Are you interested in a career in technology? Henderson State University offers degrees in aviation, computer science, and engineering. Visit hsu.edu/degrees to see the full list of degree opportunities. We are here to help you be ready for what's next. Contact us at admissions@hsu.edu or visit hsu.edu/readies to apply today or schedule a campus visit.
Who do we look to shape our world? It'll be people who know how to think with their heads and their hearts. People who understand that faith is not the enemy of education, but its partner. More than book smart, more than business smart. They are wise in their whole being.
We are future shapers.
Learn to live well and lead well in God's world. Be a future shaper at OBU.
Coach Downey speaking things over with his team, and at this point, Luke, what do you say a little bit different now, because Harding has answered just about everything that Tech has thrown out here in this second half. They've been able to stay with them defensively. They've been able to match baskets and keep things going in the Bison's favor.
Yeah, at this point, you have to rely on your defense. I mean, you have to hope that your offense is going to come around to make up a 5-point deficit, but you really have to just be locked in defensively over these last 7.5 minutes and make things as impossible for Harding as possible.
The bounce pass attempted by Schaefer there looked like it went off Jabane's foot. They're going to keep playing. Shot clock down to about 10 right now. Brooks goes in strong. Allen, nice job delay, tipped around and finally goes back in. That was a great body control that time once he got in the air.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that a lot from the Wonder Boys today. A lot of drives and leaving their feet right on the baseline. A fortunate break there.
And credit to Allen that time. This is going to be tied up. Possession arrow will favor Harding, but that was all about Allen getting in there and getting a hand, knocking the ball away. Nice aggressive play on the inside, and there are 3 gold jerseys around the vicinity, but that was all about Allen.
Yeah, Allen playing well, being counted on. He sits down right now as Peter's back in, but some big minutes there from Trey Allen.
Marshall, and he's going to shoot 3. No, shoot 2. They had him on the line. He'll shoot 2.
That's his third at the line shooting 2.
So that's 3 on Brooks now. 3 on Schaefer and 4 on Camerad. This foul situation for Arkansas Tech. JT Smith, Dylan Monroe, and Sam Smith each with 3, which Sam Smith hasn't been on the court much today. Just 15 minutes thus far for the Bisons.
Free throws big, though, for Marshall. Marshall 5 for 5 from the line right now. Has 15 points to lead all scorers. And Brooks will go to the line to shoot a pair on the other end.
That was on number 44 of the
Marshall again 5 for 5, has those 15 points, shooting 40% from the field, 2 for 6 from outside the arc.
Now that is 4 on Monroe now. We'll see if that forces Sam Smith back into the contest. Monroe kind of the bully guy inside. Robert Hugas, senior out of Athens, also on the bench, 6'9", played in 16 minutes, but he hadn't played since February 1st. So it doesn't appear to be part of the rotation today as well.
Harding with a number of players, though. You mentioned players maybe not seen time. It's at least he has players on his side with whom he can work. And free throws now, an opportunity for Harris as he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Harding has players to work with. That's a little bit different. You go back 10 years ago, Luke. And I don't know exactly what you were doing 10 years ago in March, but I was watching some GAC basketball. Harding back then didn't have a lot of players. As a matter of fact, that was a stretch when they had only 8. They went through the tournament with 8 players. Coach Morgan had to make do with what he had. And they won the conference tournament 10 years ago this year. Weston Jamison, part of the Great 8 of the Harding Bisons. And you get to, by the way, having only 8 players, there were only 7 players that played in the championship game that went to double overtime. And Coach Jamison played all 50 minutes.
Hey, you only need 5. You know, those rotations, they get short in the postseason.
They definitely did.
Oh, it's a nice shot by Schaefer. Pure, under control. Great defense there by Smith. Sometimes you just tip your cap. And 2-point game here, under 6 to go.
I think you have to. The way that Schaefer has shot the ball today, when he's found his rhythm, it's a nice looking shot. Outside, Henderson and Marshall from long range. That one won't fall in the 2-point contest.
Thought that was a little early there, Joey.
Yeah. Tech with an opportunity. Peter, he's going to take things into his own hands, and he's fouled.
That was on the Bisons.
Say that was on the court as Jabane comes back in.
If this was up a level, that would have counted.
Yep.
But it doesn't here. Not at Fire Lake Arena.
Meanwhile, even though a foul on the court, it's going to be a shooting foul. It's a 1-and-1 opportunity, as that was number 7.
So both teams in the bonus now. Peter, great free throw shooter. 36th nationally, 4th in the conference, 87% from the free throw line. 149 attempts coming in to today's contest. Just 3rd in the league behind Zane Nelson and Ben Smith of Southwestern.
Yeah, it means he's made the trips to the free throw line. He's gotten there and he knows what to do when he gets there. 3 for 4 on the afternoon, and Arkansas Tech has tied this up. Little movement around the outside. Mitchell, great block. Out of bounds will stay with Harding. Josh Mitchell, GAC Defensive Player of the Year, once again making a statement.
Man, just a huge block there, showing why he's the league leader in blocks this year.
Has 2 in this contest. Long arms. He really just came from nowhere to get that one. Jabane stepping in. How about Mitchell again?
Oh, and he got that right at its apex, too.
Brooks the other way. Block on the other end. And
nice
that one,
hustle by Harris.
Yeah, Harris with the block. Harris trying to keep it going. It's going to stay with Arkansas Tech. And how about the play of Joshua Mitchell in the last 2 trips down the court for Harding?
Right turn for the Bison.
Just tremendous play inside, and you know, defensive player of the year is always one of those tough ones because you see the numbers, the blocks, the steals, and think, wow, they must be a great defender. But then, you know, the guys who are the great on-ball defenders who, you know, maybe don't have those numbers, maybe aren't getting that recognition.
Top of the key, takes it all the way to the basket. The Wonder Boys with a 2-point lead, less than 5 minutes remaining. And Arkansas Tech not out of this one yet.
I know, let's see if the veteran experience comes through here. Harding does not have that experience. Tech has guys on the court who were here in the championship game last year. Let's see if that wins out.
Smith backing his way down low. Mitchell there, and he disrupted play. Didn't get the block that time. Not going to show up in the stat line, but that was all about Mitchell on defense as Smith was trying to back him down.
And that's why Mitchell is the defender of the year in the conference. Not only does he have the blocks, the numbers, the flashy stuff, that was just tremendous on-ball defense in the post against a savvy post player.
Mitchell now backing down Smith on the other end. Smith commits the foul.
Frankly, that whistle could have come about 4 different times there. Smith had him all sorts of wrapped up.
I agree with you. That takes us to the final media timeout. And the Wonder Boys will be shooting free throws when we come back, trying to extend a small lead.
If you're not at home, where else would you be? Not the kind of home you're familiar with, but the kind that helps you become them. Or them. The kind where you become a part of a community that builds you up. A community that doesn't just give you the answers, but helps you discover them for yourself. Home is where the Mule Riders are. When you're a Mule Rider, you're not walking down a predetermined trail. You're blazing your own. The world is full of unsettled questions with so much to explore. Enter it with full reins of knowing who you are, where you come from, and what ignites your flame. Here at home, you have no limits. Reach for the stars and don't stop there. As a Mule Rider, you decide what's possible. Stop imagining what you could do and do it here. Think bigger. Think faster. Let's ride. Don't worry, you're not far from home. Because home is where the Mule Riders are.
Well, that fan base that we showed a little bit earlier said they were looking for something to cheer about. They found it right now on a 6-0 run, and an opportunity to extend that run on the free throw line as Josh Mitchell will step up. He's 2 for 3 from the free throw line today. Has 5 boards, 3 blocks to go along with 6 points.
Man, if you look at the numbers from today so far, 36% shooting for Arkansas Tech. If you told Weston Jamison that you were going to hold, if Tech was going to be at 36% shooting with under 4 to go, he probably would feel pretty good about where his team was at. And as he should, it's still just a 4-point game.
Mitchell, a 48% free throw shooter on the season. He has 4 of 5 today, and Luke, that's when it counts. Nice look inside. Great job. The pass by Smith into Monroe. Two-point contest still. Yeah, I agree with you. If you tell Coach Jamison those things, he's got to feel good about his opportunity and his chances. Tech looking to slow things down a little bit here. Shorten the game. Brooks As he has shown throughout the day, he can make his way into the basket. How about that body control again? Time out of the court as Coach Downey will take it after Brooks puts an awkward 2 up and in off the glass. And the lead back to 4 for the Wonder Boys.
It's a strong take from Cassius Brooks there. 17 today, giving Tech the 4-point lead. Man, you know, Joey, sometimes I feel like you can overthink it as far as how much you want to slow the game down. Right there, Brooks getting it in the corner with just 5 on the shot clock, having to come all the way to the basket in that short amount of time. Obviously, he's a fast guy. It's not like he couldn't make it in time. Now, me, on the other hand, it might take me the full 5 to get from the corner to the far side of the bucket, but you just don't want to overthink it too much, and then you get harried and hurried and frazzled because, oh my gosh, we're just starting our set and there's only 8 on the clock. I've always been, you know, unless you really are in control, you just run your stuff in a regular motion because that's what your players are used to.
Brooks had to make the adjustment. He did just that. It's a 4-point game, and Smith will take it up the court the other direction. Haven't heard anything from Marshall in a minute or two. They get that opportunity here. Marshall drawing the contact, and Marshall will go to the line.
That's 4 on Brooks. Mark Downey not pleased with that call. And, you know, Marshall throwing that head back way early before there was any sort of contact there from Brooks. I can understand Mark Downey's consternation over there on the sideline.
Marshall makes the first of 2, 16 points on the day. He is perfect from the free throw line right now, and he stays that way. 7 for 7 now. And Tech will get past the timeline. Now look to run the play a little bit earlier. Coach Downey sends it in. Mitchell working around Jabane down low, and Mitchell will draw the foul. You know, if you're Harding, you think, okay, that's really not that bad. Jabane picking up the foul, well, that's just his first personal foul. But for Mitchell, we mentioned it just a moment ago. On the year, less than 50% from the free throw line.
Maybe you might be speaking a regression to the mean into existence here, Joey. And Tech fortunate. It looked like Mitchell might have lost that going up before there was contact there from Henderson coming around the backside. But 0 for 2, Harding gets away with it there.
Trailing by just 2 now. Marshall gives it up, and turnover for Harding. An unforced error as that just slipped right out of the hands of Sam Henderson. And Tech, fortuitous after those 2 missed free throws. Coach Downey will call a timeout. Less than 2 minutes remain. We will take the timeout as well. Arkansas Tech, the 2 seed. They're up by 2 here in Shawnee.
Hey, Future Readies. Are you interested in careers that help your community? Henderson State University offers degrees in nursing, teaching, psychology, social work, and health and human performance. Visit hsu.edu/degrees to see the full list of degree opportunities. We are here to help you be ready for what's next. Contact us at admissions@hsu.edu or visit hsu.edu/readies to apply today or schedule a campus visit.
Tech calling the timeout after Harding turnover. Harding looked like they had an opportunity to close it back in and tie this one up. Loose ball, Tech gets it back. So the Wonder Boys.
Timeout left for Tech now.
Yeah, the Wonder Boys, Peter, still haven't seen much of him, and you won't during this play because he's on the bench.
Camerad back in with 4 fouls.
Schaefer squares up off the front iron, and the rebound. Jabane comes away with it.
Big board between Camerad and Mitchell there.
Not the offensive set I think Tech really wanted at times. Jabane working his way down low, trying to find someone, and he will travel.
God, that's such good job by Josh Mitchell, moving his feet with a quicker G-Bane. Man, that's just tremendous defense inside and forcing the travel, just getting G-Bane to the spot where he picked up his dribble and just kind of getting just enough into his body to create that movement.
Back-to-back turnovers for Harding now. The Bisons having to depend on defense once again. Tanner loses control and loses the ball. Bisons will take a timeout right now. They'll get it back.
And we have a timeout.
Trailed by 2, still trailing by 2. This will be the third trip down in which they've had an opportunity now to tie it or take the lead. And we'll see what Coach Jamison draws up right now.
Well, Joey, the last couple possessions, not the prettiest either way. Almost limping to the finish line here are these two. Back-to-back turnovers on those 2 possessions. But so both teams down to 1 timeout, though. Double bonus for the Bisons. Well, really both teams in the double bonus. As soon as the Bisons commit another personal foul, that'll be number 10. So things about as even as they come. Both teams right at 37% shooting. Bison's 36%, 9 threes for Tech, 8 for Harding.
Now Peter will come back in now, come in for Tanner. Peter guarding Henderson up top. Now it's Marshall. Peter's switched over to take him. A 3-2 look now, zone look for Arkansas Tech as Henderson drives in. That one well too strong. Again, not the look they wanted. Peter comes away with the board now, and we have less than a minute remaining.
Mitchell might have gotten a piece of that, swatting it back over the rim there. Definitely took a swipe at it. If you're Tech, just run your set like normal. Don't panic here. Don't be in a hurry. Just do what you do. You have the lead.
Here's Brooks stepping up into the defender. No whistle. Shot won't fall. Bison's the other direction. Less than 30 remaining. And a timeout taken by Harding. And it does now come down to this for Harding.
This will be a full timeout.
And again, no pressure. You mentioned this earlier. You said that. To run what you run. Harding with an opportunity either way. Coach Downey not pleased, as you might expect. Harding not forced to put up a 3 in this instance. So for the Bisons who are shooting 35% from the field now, 32% from outside the arc. And look, the question then becomes, if you have an opportunity for a 3-pointer, do you look that direction? You're the number 7 seed. Do you want to take the number 2 seed into overtime? If you have the opportunity for a 3-pointer, maybe take it, but no pressure at that point. You can still have a look if you find the opening inside.
I think with the way things are right now, honestly, I would be taking it to the basket. There's 3 of 9 from 3 in the second half. If I am Harding, I'm taking this one to the basket and trying to draw the foul. Harding, a great free throw shooting team, 75% this season. I'm going right at Camerad and trying to get him out of the game, tie the game, head into overtime, and now Tech's out without one of their better players.
Marshall talking something over with Henderson just as the ball was thrown in bounds. Marshall on the left side. He'll take it. Clock down to 10. Marshall one-on-one with Peter. Kicks outside. Smith. Top of the key. Harris to McBride. Comes up short, and the Harding season comes up short. Arkansas Tech.
I think we're going to take a look at this. I think it hit on the baseline before the clock expired. It's not going to be much time, and don't know if there's going to be any time for the Bisons to be able to get the foul, extend the game. I mean, we're probably talking 0.8 on the clock. But it's not going to be much, but it looks like Tech is going to survive. Great defense by Tech. That's why they are one of the best teams in the conference. That's why they tied for the regular season championship, was because of their defense. Their defense, #1 in scoring defense, which is 14th nationally, #1 in field goal percentage defense, 4th in turnovers forced. I mean, that is why they are 18-4 in GAC play and have won their last 7. You knew that they had enough scoring to get the job done today. The question was, could their defense lock in and keep the Bisons at bay long enough for their offense to just get enough? And that has been the case here in the second half.
And you have to give credit to the Wonder Boys on defense in enforcing that last shot. You might imagine that the Bisons might want to get a shot off a little bit more quickly than that to have an opportunity for a loose ball, a rebound, something like that. And Tech was simply there, forced the shot to come at the very last second possible.
So 0.6 on the clock, Joey, and it is Tech basketball. You know, I'm always a big advocate of just touch it and get out of the way. So if I'm Tech or I'm Cameron, I just throw it at somebody and let the clock run.
There it is to Brooks. The clock runs, and now officially we can say Arkansas Tech will survive and advance quarterfinal. Winners here, a final score of 67-65.
Yeah, just a tremendous first game between two conference rivals. You know, tip your hat to the Harding Bisons. Their first time here in this championship since 2017. Just an awesome game and an awesome effort. Just didn't quite have enough in the tank to get over the hump and spring the upset on the Wonder Boys.
2-point win for Arkansas Tech. Arkansas Tech. We will take a break, and we will be right back to wrap things up from our first game.
Running outdoors, you got to take what nature gives you. We'd like to say we run when they don't. So we want to give you products to be able to run when you don't think you should run, when it's pouring rain outside, it's snowing. We're going to have products for you to get out there. You don't get better sitting on your butt not training. You got to get out there and run.
At Under Armour, it's always about premium textiles. They need to perform, they need to be the best. The merging of hybrid textiles with naturals and new seaming and bonding and super sleek, modern, fast, futuristic designs. That's where we are really going to turn it up a notch. If you look good and you feel good, you're going to perform better.
The term survive and advance, or the phrase, has been used many, many, many times in the month of March, and I think that is adequate and appropriate for Arkansas Tech. They will survive. They will move on to the semifinal of the Great American Conference Tournament. A 67-65 victory today, and Brooks leading the way with 17 points for Arkansas Tech, matched by Riley Marshall for Harding. And Luca, lots to be said for the effort for the Bisons today.
Yeah, absolutely. Tremendous defensive game by the Bisons, held Tech to 36% shooting. Weston Jamison said they had to get stops, and they did that. They gave themselves a chance because of their defense. I don't think that would have been the popular opinion coming into this afternoon. I think if we said that Harding was really in the game late, it was going to be as a result of them going shot for shot with Arkansas Tech. But this afternoon, it was pretty much exclusively because of their defense, especially in that last 30 minutes of the ballgame. The first 10 minutes, they had that 21-11 lead because they were making shots, because they were putting the ball in the basket. But that last 30 minutes, it was defense reigning supreme both ways.
Get a chance now to visit with Cassius Brooks, who comes away with a victory today. Cassius, big effort today, and we said just a little bit earlier, 17 points, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and you stuck around even with some foul trouble.
Yeah, it was a big game today. We just wanted to come out and just keep fighting and keep staying tough and keep fighting through adversity today, even though we started out slow. So just staying consistent and just follow our principles, what we do all the time.
you know, this is a team that you've beaten by nearly 30 points, more than 20 points twice already this year. How tough is it really to come out and beat a team a third time in the season, especially a rival like this?
We knew it wasn't going to be easy to come out and beat a team 3 times, plus it's playoffs, so everybody's going to get everybody's best start. So we just knew we just had to come out and play hard and just stick together as a team.
Cassius Talon a little bit banged up from that game against Southern Arkansas last week, and you really put the team on your back in that first half when you guys were down 10. You know, talk about your mentality going into that stretch of the first half where you guys were needing to come back and get back in the ball game.
We were just staying tough and just picking up our brother Taylor. We know he's dealing with a little injury issue, so we just wanted to stay with him and pick him up. We just didn't want to let all the accolades and stuff get to our head last night, so we just wanted to stay focused and just come out and just play hard today.
Cassius, big victory today. Thank you very much for taking time with us, and congratulations as you all move on to the semifinals.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Again, a big victory today. 17 points for Brooks, 3 for 3 from the line, and he shot 40% from the field. Your final take, Luke?
Well, I think something that, you know, didn't really stand out that much, but here looking at the final stat sheet, 17 second chance points for Arkansas Tech on 15 offensive rebounds. It didn't feel like that throughout the afternoon, but that's where the Wonder Boys won the game, really. They outscoring Tech by 8 on the offensive glass and offsetting a 7-point edge in fast break points, but Arkansas Tech went out and got it. They went out and got it done when they absolutely needed to. They got the stops they needed. They got just enough offense to get over the hump and are moving on to semifinal Saturday.
And you mentioned that with your 42 rebounds there for Arkansas Tech, 34 to Harding. We wrap things up here. Final stats from today's game. Again, Marshall with 17 points for Harding, but the season comes to an end for the Bisons, the number 7 seed. They make it to the tournament, but it's Arkansas Tech with 67 points, the final there. Brooks 17. How about Cade Schaefer flirting with a triple-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Talon Peter just 5 points on the day, but he did what was necessary. Our next game features a 2-7 matchup once again. The Harding Lady Bisons taking on the Ouachita Tigers. That'll be next on the GAC Sports Network.